is a climate of Atlantic influence. Humidity dominates, united to a sea breeze that translates into our wines. Together with the sandy loam texture of our soils, it allows us to achieve very fresh white wines with structure and persistence that makes the wines to last, maintaining its youth.
You have lots of rain here as a general characteristic, with around 2,000 millimeters per annum.
That's an approximate average. It can vary, but lately with the climate change we have been experiencing a high variability. Springs are not particularly springs, and winters are not winters anymore. Climatologically speaking, the climate change is affecting us very much. The main definition is very little soil, and in the subsoil we find sand and loam with very high porosity. In our vines that are planted in high slopes, as you can see, the rain does not translate into excessive vigor. We look for a proper maturation and a balance between alcoholic grade and total acidity. That's why the wines from our plots have personality.
They have good drainage and can withstand lots of water. Is that because the slope makes the water to flow?
The terrains in the coast and the denomination of origin Rias Baixas have a high porosity level. But we also have deeper terrains in the valley, closer to the river Umia. We are in the high areas. Those closer to the river are much deeper, and the vines have way more vigor and produce more grapes per hectare. But then the cycle of phenolic and aromatic maturation is weaker in the zones with more vigor. The planting structure is important. The distance between vines and between parallels to obtain good ventilation channels and/or the sun to reach the ground during the morning and the afternoon. That helps that the fungi that usually attack the vineyard each year don't become very aggressive, as in areas with poor ventilation. This is why we separate them from the ground. We are also interested in preventing the grapes to get direct sunlight exposure and to avoid the strong heat during the summer. The grape should not be burnt from the top. In order to generate good aromas, it needs a slow phenolic maturation cycle. A variety of white grape with small bunches, with small oval berries, with characteristics of phenolic maturation and concentration are superior to other varieties, such as Treixadura, which is of a larger size, and we also have it in the denomination of origin, but it has different characteristics. The alcoholic graduation is lower. In a normal maturation cycle, with Albariño, we achieve 12 or 12.5 degrees of potential alcohol, which is what defines the average quality of the wines.
Also its acidity. It is a fresh variety with great acidity, which is excellent to accompany culinary dishes based on fish or shellfish, which is typical from here. But it's also a very versatile grape, right? As it can be elaborated in this dynamic style, but it can also lead to very sophisticated wines, more structured and complex. Indeed, you have patented a new method of elaboration of Albariño using granite barriques, which are made with Galician granite.
Yes, we try to differentiate our styles. We like to innovate and create new projects. Among them, the first wine in the world elaborated in a granite barrique. This is the pilot barrique. It is the first that we fabricated in a totally artisan way. It was done out of a single solid stone, a single piece. We shaped it in the shape of an egg on the outside, and the interior was perforated with an industrial drill in a granite shop nearby, close to the city hall in Ribadumia. And the rest was emptied manually by the artisan of the shop, until he achieved the same shape in the interior than in the exterior. The idea was to get this shape maintaining 10 centimeters of thickness for the wall of the barrique.
in the shape of an egg, as it is known to help maintaining the lees in suspension for a longer time. Before making this pilot barrique, you try different kinds of granite stones, right? Placing them in wine to see how the wine and the granite intertwine. And then you broke them to see how deep the wine had entered the stone. This way you decided what granite was best for the purposes.
To test the capillarity and the penetration of the wine, we had to perform many trials with different kinds of granite. We chose this one as a result, and also because it's easier to work into a barrique. It is the most resistant and crystalline. It does not have many defects. Defects can give lots of problems when fabricating a piece like this. And we finally decided to use this one, and with a thickness of 10 centimeters, to enable the desired degree of micro-oxygenation, to allow a special elaboration that can convince other wineries that are willing to acquire one of these barriques that it provides unique wines.
How deep the wine enters the granite wall?
Between 2 and 3 centimeters.
And out of this interchange, the wine will absorb some of the particularities of the granite that you don't find in any other wine in the world.
That's correct. There are some characteristics very peculiar to this type of granite, a range of salts, including potassium salts, that by electrolysis they decompose and provide the liquid inside the barrique with personality and make the wine to acquire distinct aromatic and analytic characteristics.